exactly. I don't drink milk. I'm pretty vegan.
Are you pretty vegan? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to reduce your animal product consumption?
My daughter mostly. I mean, I've gone through bouts of being vegetarian throughout my life, and I never ate a lot of meat. I was like maybe every once a month I'd get chicken or fish. Or,
Yeah.
my daughter is pretty vegan. Like she only eats fish, and every once in a while, like I mean, like we're 90% vegan, right?
Yeah.
And then every once in a while.
Well, I hear this a lot that people, and I was kind of this way before I was vegan. You guessed it, right? I mean, we're all vegan here, but I kind of like cut out all the mammals and the birds, and then
That's what she
stuck to the fish. Why do you think it is that people still see fish, or they see them less as animals? Like, why do you think that is?
No, to me, it's like anything that can run from you shouldn't, you know what I mean? Has feelings.
Yeah.
Like that's when I was in my 20s and 30s and I was vegetarian, vegan. I don't know what I was. I can't remember exactly. But because back then there wasn't the distinction so much, right? Like that was a while ago.
Yeah. The number of.
I mean, that was my thing. It was like, you know, people say, "Yo, there's plants, blah blah blah." I'm like, but they can't run from you.
Right.
They don't show fear.
Yeah.
Pain
That may be an evolutionary. It may be evolutionarily designed that way, so that we're supposed to eat the plants and the berries and stuff because they can't run from us, and then we can spread their seeds around, right?
There's the belief that that they even like it to be part of the
Right, because it helps spread their seeds around. Like birds eat the little berries and then they poop out their seeds, and so.
So why are you doing this?
Yeah, so, well, I mean, to be very direct, we're trying to help people understand their obligation to be vegan, in other words, to help animals who are oppressed. So we don't really see this kind of footage every day. It's not in the grocery store, it's not in the restaurants, right? It's not even, I mean, it's on the internet, but people don't seek it out, right? So if we start seeing animals as individuals that they are, and less as these commodities that our society says they are, then we think they have even just a little bit of moral value. It doesn't have to be as much as a human. Then shouldn't we not use them at all?
Do you dress vegan too?
Yes. So I mean, at first,
I'm not perfectly in that.
Right. I understand. We live in a non-vegan culture, and so we're not here to judge people on their current or past actions, but we do want to move everyone to that place of non-violence, and so.
So how do you do it?
Yeah, so I mean, it's just most of it's a habit, right? It's mostly food.
How do you do it?
How did I do it?
No, how do you get people to do it?
Oh, well,
I know how you did it. I know how I need to change, but I'm curious, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, so what we believe is, showing the standard practices and just having these conversations and empowering people with information. We have these little cards, and we just want people to look into it for themselves. And I start with this one called The Best Speech You Will Ever Hear. It's on YouTube. And then there's some ones about health and environment. And then the one we're showing right now is Dominion. And what I like to tell people is it's 2 hours of discomfort for us, watching this kind of stuff. But it really educates us on what is happening with our dollars. And if
just seeing that poor cow,
and this is for dairy, and these are the baby males who get slaughtered because they don't produce milk, and they do this because they forcibly impregnate the females, and then 9 months later they have a baby. They kill all the males because they don't produce milk. The female babies are separated from their mothers, put in little pens. Yeah, sometimes they take them for veal, but essentially they're killed in a few weeks. And
the meat's used.
Right, but if you think of it from the animal's perspective, they're still killed, right? They wanted to live their life, and that's kind of the perspective change we're seeking, is see it from the animal's perspective. What would they want? What if we were talking about dogs or cats? People would be outraged, right?
That it takes.
It's also so that's
resource expenditure is huge.
Yeah, Cowspiracy. It's an amazing environmental documentary that'll talk about.
The Baskin 31 flavors.
Baskin Robbins. Robin something. I forget his name.
I wrote that. I mean, I read that back in my 20s.
And he just divested from it.
How much? Okay, let's look at the economics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of the two industries. Like, he went through how horrible it is too to the animals. But he also went through it from the economic perspective and how uneconomically feasible.
And so I mean, there's I mean, that's the great thing about this movement. It's connected to so many different things. I mean, we're here primarily for the animals, but it's, you know, human health, it's human rights. You know, think about working in a slaughterhouse, what that's like. We're paying those people to do that. And, you know, by the way, I ask people, if we had a pig or a chicken or any animal in front of us right here, and I gave you a knife, do you think that you could slit their throat if you wanted to eat, you know, a hamburger? Maybe if you're starving, but in a non-survival situation. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so like, you said you've already had a lot of experience kind of eating more plant-based. Like, what would be really difficult for you if, hypothetically, tomorrow you decide, I'm going to be vegan. I believe this guy in the street. I don't want to contribute to this anymore.
No difficulty. I said, I'm like,
you do it, yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, I buy bitchin' sauce, which is vegan.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
okay.
Like if you looked in my fridge right now, it's all, well, eggs.
Yeah, okay, eggs. So do you know much about the egg industry?
Yeah, it's horrible too. I know.
So I'm just can I tell you a little bit what happened? So,
that actually came from my daughter, so that would be good for, like, because she eats a lot of eggs to get her protein, you know, whatever. But, so I kind of got in the habit with her.
So right before I went vegan, I was eating like, you know, almost a half a dozen eggs.
Too, but I want to know what you guys went. So is this?
This is
and I don't mean all. Is this all you do, or what else do you do besides this?
Well, I mean, I'm an accountant by trade, but I mean
like the movement.
The movement. So, I mean, Anonymous to the Voiceless is a grassroots movement that started 3 years ago in Australia, and it's now grown to about 1,000 different chapters around the world. So we're all over the place. I mean, I'm the organizer for the San Francisco chapter. This is the Santa Clara chapter. It's really spreading because people realize, you know, vegans, you know, they're realizing that they don't want to just be vegan, but they want to become an activist, and they want to help people see what they didn't see. It took me 30 years and a lot of research on the internet to realize what was going on, and that it was better for my health.
Are you only about 30 years old?
I'm 37. So I went vegan. Maybe I stopped aging. I don't know, but maybe I stopped aging. But no, but when I was 30, you know, when I was 30, and I appreciate that. Thank you. But no, I'm 37 now, and you know, I originally discovered.
So when did you really start researching?
Yeah, when I was like 29 or 30, and then I looked into some of the health effects.
So for about 7 years.
Yeah, seven years.
You said 30 years. I've been.
Oh no, I meant for 30 years I didn't know. Like it took me 30 years. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, but then, you know, I wish I had known this information that's just on this little card. If I had watched this speech when I was a teenager, pretty sure I would be going in the vegan direction. You know, and this, you know, we didn't have the internet a long time ago, and so these resources are readily available. We've got Netflix, YouTube, and this Dominion documentary. You can watch it for free at watchdominion.com or on YouTube. It shows what happens in meat, dairy, eggs, like leather, wool, down for, you know, pillows and stuff, and entertainment too, like horse racing, you know, dog racing, all sorts of things. So if we think that individuals should be, or animals are individuals, and they shouldn't be used like this.
What does the world look like without all that?
Well, so I mean, we wouldn't be.
I mean, like, not that I think it's.
You know, it's a good question.
Not a good idea to move there, but I'm just kind of, like, just trying to envision, because that's part of what you guys need to do, or what people need to do is envision what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
Because that'll help us get there.
Yeah, I have a pretty good vision of what it would look like. So, well, right now, I really would like it to not look like what we have now. So
like
what we have
do
now.
With all the existing cows.
Yeah. So if you think about it, why are we breeding? Well, why are we breeding all these animals?
For this purposes.
For human consumption, right?
Yeah.
So if enough people stop demanding the product, these farms and slaughterhouses won't produce as many animals.
You think they just kill them all? They probably would.
Well, no, but it's a slow, gradual process, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, the world's not going to go vegan overnight, but as people slowly go vegan, the demand will go down, and that means the number of animals will go down. And then eventually there'll probably be a small bunch of animals left, yes, like a few thousand, tens of thousands, and those will go to sanctuaries.
Really, yeah, but because I bet you'll never get to 100. I bet you they'll be really pricey at that point too.
Yeah, right. And you know.
Maybe I'm just.
Yeah.
Doing
I like
experiment.
the brainstorming, right? And And so, but you know, what do you think happens? You were kind of talking about the environment. What do you think happens to the environment when we breed 70 billion land animals and kill them every year into existence? That's a lot of manure.
I know.
That's a lot of food.
It's a lot of methane gas.
Yeah.
They say, right?
And how much food do you think a cow eats?
Well, I know. So yeah.
So, and how much compared to how much does a human eat?
Yeah.
They say that if everyone was fed a plant-based diet, we'd be able to feed approximately 10 billion people. We have what, 7-something billion people on the planet now, with a lot of starving people.
But do we have enough water?
Yeah, so it takes 25,000 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of beef.
Oh, yeah,
so it's very, if you watch this Cowspiracy, you can learn all those stats about the environment.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to say is, like, even if that wasn't the case, these animals are like us. They feel like us. You know, they are basically sentient beings. I don't know if you don't know that term. So our world doesn't see them like that. They see them as milk machines or egg machines, you know. But all these animals are slaughtered at a very young age too, like 2 or 3 years old in the beef industry. With the cows who are milked, it's like 4 or 5 years old. And then
so it slowly goes, so they slowly go out of business.
Yeah.
They let them slowly die. I mean, they'd probably kill, I think ones that are going out of business would sell them or kill them.
Well, so they would,
right?
Usually vegans, serious like activists, they would kind of adopt the animals from the farmers. That's already happening now. And they take them to sanctuaries. Have you ever heard of like a animal rescue sanctuary?
Horse ones. My friend was involved in horse.
So there's right in the Bay Area, there's a whole bunch of farmed animal sanctuaries. They let them live there and they take care of them, and let them live out their natural lives. And they're not seen as commodities. What's that? No, because they're not seen as commodities. Like if a human died in front of me, my first instinct is not to eat them, right? Or my dog.
So what do they do? Bury them? I mean, like compost them?
Yeah, I've never looked into like what. I think they would bury them, or I think they would bury them, just like we would bury humans. So. Anyway, sorry, I'm keeping this card from you, but the other thing on there, because you're so close, it seems like this would be easy for you. These two programs, this one's more of a health-based one, run by Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, and this one is a 22-day program to basically change a habit, and they give you the good recipes, give you all the meal support, and you can ask infinite questions.
Have you ever heard of what's it called? Root something. It's one of those prepackaged. They have a vegan.
Oh yeah. They've started like
where it's the.
They deliver it to you.
Yeah.
Weeks worth. Yeah. I forget what that's called, but yeah. So you that can make it more convenient.
Yeah. Way more convenient.
And since you spoke with me for such a long time, I have these brochures that describes animal rights as from a very philosophical approach, and why vegan is kind of the logical answer to that, So I'll give you this. Hope your hands get better. I don't know.
I broke
both wrists. Wow, that's rough.
Surgery.
Yeah.
Plates and pins in both wrists.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I can't pick anything up. I can't drive. So anyway.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at mentally right now.
Yeah.
But thank you.
So one last question for you. What action do you think you will take after seeing this and chatting with me?
Is probably talk to my daughter about eggs. And go look at that thing and say, hey. We're gonna stop eating eggs too, girl. And then my son he's kind of gone back and forth, and I might talk to him a little bit.
So
he's really struggling emotionally. So
that's kind of the other thing you can do. Other than we say everyone should be vegan, but like talking to other people, sharing the information as you're making your own transition, and that can be very powerful. And that's, I think, the way the world is really going to go vegan. It's not necessarily just with people standing on the street with TVs. It's friends and family talking to each other and seeing that this is not something that they want to contribute to anymore. So
this is cool.
What's your name? My name is Paul.
Hi, Paul.
I don't know if I can shake your hand there, but it was a pleasure talking to you.
You
and
too.
I hope you.
Maybe I'll join you.
Yeah. Check us out, cubeoftruth.com.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.